Hi everybody, I am going to do a video today on meal planning and how to meal plan and how to shop for your items on the meal plan and how to save money and what type of meal plans you should use. I'm going to show you just a rough meal plan, and then I'm going to be doing a meal plan for some freezer meals because that's what I'm aiming at doing this week. So um, stay with me and you'll see the process of how this is going to go. Um, so I'm just going to talk a little bit and then I'll show you some of the work that I'm going to do. So first you have to assess your schedule. So if you have activities for your kids on, say, Monday evening, you're not going to have a big elaborate meal Monday. You're going to probably pick a quick meal or a crock pot meal or a freezer meal. If, for example, on Friday you know that you'll have the day in and you'd like to have a nice elaborate meal, those are the days that you plan to make some stuff from scratch. And I like to have a variety of these meals in my menu, and then I can also switch them out if something comes up. For example, if somebody's sick, I might choose to do a soup instead of what was planned for that day. Or if all of a sudden my husband's not going to be coming home for supper, he has a meeting and then he's going to grab something at work, I will plan on something instead that he doesn't necessarily like. Like he doesn't like a lot of Indian recipes. He does like my curry chicken with eggs, hard-boiled eggs. He likes that with potatoes and rice. But some of the other ones, if it's too saucy or too stew-like, um, he's not a big fan. So I'll probably plan to do something like that instead. Um, Same with if one of my children isn't at home. One likes seafood, one likes more vegetables than the other. So whichever one's not going to be home for supper, I will do a meal with more vegetables or with seafood. So if my oldest isn't here, I will do a seafood dish. If my youngest isn't here, I'll do one with peppers and onions because my youngest doesn't like those vegetables. So maybe something like fajitas or something. Um, I always have a stocked fridge, pantry, and freezer. So if I'm not interested in a few of these menus, I will choose something quick like pasta and sauce. I usually have some ground beef cooked in the freezer or pressure canned, so I could just whip that together on those days that I really don't want to cook whatever I planned. Because sometimes I'm the pickiest person in the family. I'm just like, I don't really want to have Chinese, or I'm not really in the mood for pasta. So it all depends on things, and I like the fluidity of it and the I like planning for the stuff, so at least I know I have all the ingredients for all these meals in the house. So I don't necessarily have to have what I plan on Monday, but I could have it on Tuesday instead and take what I was going to have on Friday on Monday. So another thing is to make a list of about 30 suppers that your family does like. So go through your recipes, go through Pinterest, go through your cookbooks, and talk with your families of their, say, 5 favorite recipes that they want, that they love. Put those on a list so that you can at least have a jumping off place to go to for inspiration. Because you don't want to have, oh, Monday is always tuna melt, Tuesday is always tacos, Wednesday is always pasta, because that gets boring. And I don't know about you, but I get bored easily with food. So that's why I like to have a wide variety of items in my house to be inspired from. Also, a good idea is to have a notepad with a magnet on it on your fridge so that you or any of your family members can write on it things that you should pick up. It is great to have when you run out of ketchup or you open up the last bottle of ketchup to write down ketchup so that you don't run out. I like doing this for like kids snack stuff and have a nice variety of granola bars or apple sauces and stuff like that or fruit cups so that I can pick and choose for their lunches. The next thing to do is to go through your fridge and pantry and freezer and see what is still in there about a day or two before grocery day. So I know in my fridge I have some peppers, I know I have some onions in my drawer and potatoes, not a lot of potatoes, so I definitely need to pick up potatoes this week. I know that I have deli meat, but I need to get some bread because I'm low on bread. But I also want to make some bread, so I might pick up one loaf and then make a loaf. Um, I know that I have some yogurt for smoothies and some frozen fruit, so I don't need to pick up those this week. But I do need to pick up yogurt tubes for my kids' lunches because they don't uh, like the cups as much. They tend not to get eaten, but the tubes, they'll be able to eat them quickly. Also, I know that in my freezer I have ground beef, so I don't need to pick up that. I have one thing of chicken, I have ham, I have a pork cottage roll. So those things I won't pick up this week, but I will pick up more chicken and that for freezer meals because this week I'm planning on a bunch of freezer meals and they're all going to be, or most of them going to be chicken ones. So I'm going to pick up chicken and process those one day and I'll do a video on that. But that's a separate part. Um, so you should make ahead um, a menu with some freezer meals that you have in your freezer. Um, like, for example, if you buy a big thing of chicken, you divide it into different Ziploc bags, let's say, and you could put different seasonings in each one. Maybe put pesto sauce, a jar of pesto sauce in one, so you have pesto chicken one day. So you literally take it out of the freezer, cook it up with some pasta and some vegetables, and you've got supper. It's sometimes the hardest thing is to just be inspired. If something's already done or three-quarters of the way done, it is much easier to throw it together last minute. Um, also, make a grocery list for the recipes you are going to do. So go through each recipe and write out how much of each item you need. And as the next recipe comes, you write out the more. I don't really follow recipes per se, but I will write them out so I can get a good idea of how much I need. And then when I'm making it, I will wing it. But at least I will have it ready and I'll have all the ingredients. The last thing I want to do is to come home and I'm making something for supper and I don't have enough. Like, and I don't have any substitutions. So that's the one thing I like about cooking and recipes is that you don't need to necessarily follow it exactly. If you don't have something, you can leave it out, but certain ingredients you do need to have. Um, Also, when you write out your menu plan, save it so that later on down the road, you will have something to bounce off of and go, oh, this menu plan looked really good. It was a nice variety. Um, I don't have to think. Here's the menu plan. Here's the recipes. Here's the ingredients. You don't have to do anything. What I'm trying to do with that is I'm trying to save them on my computer so I could literally just print them off. I do use paper, But I tend to forget about paper. I have it in paper form in my binder, and I'll print it off, but I really rely on my computer and my phone, well, my phone apps. Uh, the next thing you should do is look at your flyers. Or I use the Flip app, FLIPP app. It'll have all the flyers in your area on there. And literally, I'll type in chicken and it will show me all the flyers that advertise chicken. And then I'll pick the cheapest one. Then I'll take my Flip app and bring it to Superstore or Walmart or Freshco or Giant Tiger and price match items that they have that's cheaper at another store. I prefer doing that at Superstore in my area because I can also get PC points on certain items. So I'll look at my PC Plus app and see what items on my list are available for PC points, and then I'll search the Flip app to see where they are cheapest. And so I will get the PC points as well as the cheapest price. And that's how I save money. And then I take that extra money and use it for something special. For example, lamb. Lamb is not in our everyday budget. We do like lamb, but lamb's expensive. So I might take that extra money and buy a more luxury item like lamb and have that as something special, as my family likes to have variety and they would see it as a special treat. Another thing with looking at what's on sale, for example, this week, chicken drumsticks and thighs are on sale in my area for $1, I think 77 a pound. I'll have to look at the ad. I'll link it in this video. I'm going to buy enough for the freezer meals I have planned. Plus, I'm going to buy some more to just put in the freezer in Ziploc bags because my family likes to have things like, say, fried chicken or a tandoori chicken, which I have the spice mix here. It's a tandoori Marsala spice mix that you mix with yogurt and chicken. You roll it around, you can marinate it for however long. Or what usually happens is I'm not thinking ahead too well, so I'll marinate for like 20 minutes and then just throw it in the oven in a lasagna pan and cook it, and it works out great. So I'm sure the longer you marinate it for, oh, also there's lemon juice. So lemon juice, the tandoori spice mix, and yogurt. It's really simple, and my family thinks that I've spent hours and days working on a recipe that takes literally minutes to do. Once I've set up, I've done that. I have one in the freezer that I put all those ingredients together with a package of chicken pieces, I think chicken legs. So that's literally a freezer meal that I can tell my family to get that out, put it in a lasagna pan, put it in the oven, cook up some rice, and you've got a meal, and then make a salad. You know, it's not rocket science, but sometimes it takes a little bit of forethought. So this is part one of menu planning. I will do another video to show you how I go about doing my own menu for this week. Actually, I'm going to try and do it for, well, for 2 weeks because I do groceries every 2 weeks. But I will also make some notes in it for the whole month because I know there's some days that I'm away for a few days that I have to have some freezer meals ready so that my oldest and my husband can plop them in the oven and then they don't have to rely on ordering out, which they might still do. But I like to have stuff available so that they could take also some leftovers for lunches or have them for lunch or another meal. Okay, so this is part one, and I will go and do part two because this video is about 15 minutes long. Okay, bye.